Through this program, Althaf has become close to many students who are forever changed by its positive attitude and energy that he has transferred to some students who will forever look back at high school with fond memories. I have had the pleasure of teaching Althaf recently as a student this past semester. It was through English class that I got to see the academic side of Althaf, where he demonstrated commitment to excelling in everything that he did. He worked hard to achieve the highest possible mark, all the while helping those around him. Throughout his 4 years at Dunbarton, Althaf has demonstrated his commitment as a Spartan and his dedication as a student. It occurred to me that if I had all these wonderful memories of Althaf, some other teachers may as well. Miss I also remembers Althaf through the phys ed department as a respectable, responsible student leader and athlete that she has had the pleasure of getting to know through soccer and swimming. His maturity and sense of commitment are admirable. Mr. Reeson remembers Althaf as he worked with his grade 9 class as a peer helper. He says Althaf was highly communicative and an excellent role model for the grade 9s. He was a natural in dealing with the kids in the phys ed setting. Mr. Reeson really enjoyed seeing her confidence soar in terms of speaking in front of kids. Miss Goldberg, of course, loved seeing you dance across the stage. She had much joy in the fact that she could have put you in any group, and you would instantly change the group into a positive, smiling atmosphere. I guess what all these teachers are trying to say is that you are one of a kind, and we are so happy that we got to spend the last 4 years around your infectious smile and positive attitude. Thank you for the opportunity to get to know you.
Dear families, friends, teachers, administrators, honored guests, and of course, the graduating class of 2014. I would like to personally congratulate all of you for graduating high school. It is something you should all be very proud of. I would just like to take this moment to thank my parents who have shown me unconditional love and support, and who have done their very best to make sure I was able to take on every opportunity that came my way. I would also like to thank my grandma for coming all the way from Sri Lanka just to see me graduate. Why don't we give all of our family members a round of applause? As for the graduates, a lot of you have asked me to give you a shout out in my speech, but there are way too many of you. So, in order to solve my predicament, I've decided that all of you are going to shout out my name on my count. Okay? 1, 2, 3. I'm surprised that worked. We could not be here today without the support of our community. When we were sad, our peers were right there to cheer us up. When we did something really embarrassing, our parents were right there to retell that moment to all of our friends. When we were swamped with homework, our teachers made sure to pile on 2 more ICUs, a literary essay, and a test, just to make sure we had nothing fun to do over the weekend. And when we were about to post an awful selfie on Instagram, our friends were right there to make sure we used a filter. Which reminds me, I need to get a selfie with you guys after my speech. Since our high school careers were coming to a close, I decided to ask my fellow peers what their favorite things about DHS were. Here were some of their answers. Only at DHS can you have 11 different types of bands and choirs. Only at DHS do we have enough Lhasa and off savannahs to fill the perimeter of the West Gym. Only at DHS can you be convinced that Mr. Kwan's real name is Donkey Kwan, or Kwan Pacific. Only at DHS can you be in a calf lineup a mile long. But most importantly, only at DHS do we have such an amazing group of teachers and administrators who actually care about the success of their students. I want you all to close your eyes for a second. Now think about a teacher who has really made an impact on your school experiences. I bet it was hard to choose just one. I could have a whole list of them, but someone who has really made a special impact on me is Miss Nelson. I met her in grade 9 council when I was about 4 feet tall, and she was honestly the scariest person I'd ever met. But then I got to get to know her through the years on SAC, camp committee, and mentorship, and she turned out to be one of the most amazing people I've ever met. She has really pushed me to be the best individual that I can be. So for that I say, thank you, Miss Nelson. I'm sure all of you have been impacted by one or more teachers, so why don't we give all of our teachers an applause? Now, although high school has been very stressful at times, I know I can speak on behalf of all of you when I say that it has also been the reason for some of our fondest memories. I can never forget that time at leadership camp when my friends and I thought it would be funny to tip over a canoe with 3 grade 9 girls in them. Or that time on the Panama Community Service trip when Ryan, Andrew, Dilip, and I all got chased by indigenous Panamanian children outside our hostel rooms. I remember the heartbreak I felt when my goggles broke right before my 200 freestyle at OFSA. But I also remember the happiness I felt when I won the B final for the same race in the afternoon. High school has given us many memories, both good and bad. And now it is up to us to make many more for the future. It's crazy to think that we are graduating today. It seemed like only yesterday we were walking the halls in little clumps, cringing at the sight of the first grade 12s. We were so keen on staying in groups that we didn't care that we were blocking the entire width of the hall. I know what you're thinking. I hate it when grade 9s do that. But just remember that we were them at one point, and we were just as annoying. Thank God for puberty. When we were in grade 9, most of us had no clue what we wanted to do. And if we're going to be honest, most of us have no clue what we wanted to do in grade 12 either. Some of us still don't, but that's okay. When we were kids, the most common question adults would ask us would be, what do you want to be when you're older? In most cases, we would have said something like a doctor, a lawyer, a teacher, or a firefighter. But I think we should reevaluate this question as a whole. For some reason, our society believes that our professions have a direct correlation with the success we have in our lives. For the most part, this is true, but we must understand that we cannot be defined by our jobs. Instead, we should say, when I'm older, I want to be happy. When I'm older, I want to be inspiring. When I'm older, I want to fall in love. And when I'm older, I want to be respected. These are the types of answers we should be giving, because our morals and ethics say much more about us than any title that we hold. As the chapter of our teenage lives come to an end, we must open up a new one as young adults who are ready to take on new responsibilities and experience new and amazing things. That is what being a Spartan is all about. We take on challenges head first, and we give 150% each time. We are strong, intelligent, big-hearted, and ravishingly beautiful students. We are destined for greatness, but that does not mean that we won't stumble at one point in our lives. When you do, I want you to remember something that Oprah Winfrey said at her commencement speech at Harvard University just last year. She said, "There is no such thing as failure. Failure is just life trying to move us in another direction." One thing we must realize is that everything happens for a reason. And if something isn't going our way, it is because it was meant to be. We must be able to learn from our mistakes and persevere so that we can achieve our goals. I cannot wait until our high school reunion in 20 years, when we will all get to see how much we have all grown. I can't wait to hear about how Emily Bryson found a cure for cancer, how Jonathan Kiriakou became the general manager of the Toronto Maple Leafs, and they won the Stanley Cup. How Laura Dougal became the starting goalie for the Canadian women's national soccer team. or how Jamal Reason's new single went straight to #1 on the Billboard Hot 100. We are all destined for greatness, and I know that you will all achieve anything that you set your mind to. So leap further, dream harder, love stronger, and chase every moment like it will be your last. Most importantly, no matter how far your success takes you, never forget who you are and where you came from. We may become doctors, lawyers, teachers, and firefighters, but we will always be Dunbarton Spartans. Thank you all for this amazing opportunity. I wish you all the best. I'm going to take myself now. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Althaf. Those very thoughtful words. We're now ready to present